Today, I'm going to demonstrate the proper footwork, approach, release, and overall how to bowl correctly. First of all, to bowl, you need a bowling ball. On most bowling balls, there's 3 holes. 2 up here for your middle and ring finger, and 1 back here for your thumb. If you're right-handed like I am, this is how it should look when you hold a ball correctly. The only exception to the 3 finger holes is 2-handed bowlers who do not use their thumb whenever they bowl. Today, I'm demonstrating how to correctly bowl for 1-handed bowlers because that is what I do personally. At every bowling alley, there's plenty of bowling balls if you don't have one yourself. They vary in weight between 6 and 16 pounds, and they all have varying finger hole sizes. There may not be one that's perfect for you, but there should be many that work. Once you get a bowling ball, there's 2 steps before you can begin your approach. The first step is where you're going to aim. On your first ball, also known as your strike ball, you need to aim for what's called the pocket. The pocket is the area between the head pin, the very front pin, and the pin diagonally up front from it. That second pin is determined by which hand you throw it with. So say, since I throw with my right hand, I aim for the area between the head pin and the pin diagonally up right from it. On your second ball, also known as your spare ball, you need to aim for what pins are left. So if there is a 10 pin left, which is the pin all the way in the back right, you're going to aim to hit that one. Another factor that determines where you're aiming is if you hook or throw it straight. When you throw the ball straight, it's going to go directly to where you throw it. However, with hooking, it's going to hook in, so you need to account for that when preparing to throw. The second step is where you're going to stand. At every lane, at every bowling alley, there's 2 rows of dots right next to the ball return where the balls come from. This is the area where most, if not all, bowlers stand. Where you stand specifically is determined by where you're aiming and how you throw. If you throw straight, you're going to stand more in line with where you're going to throw. However, if you're hooking, you may stand in different positions. Whenever I throw out and hook it in. So I stand more to the left. I stand on the front row of the dots with my left foot on the left dot, second dot in, with my right foot on the next dot over. Now you can begin your approach. Every approach is different. There's a varying amount of steps and speed. My approach is 6 steps, with my first 2 being slow and the next 4 being fast. During your approach, you begin what is called your backswing. There's 2 kinds of backswings. One, where you drop the ball and let it go on its own course, and one where you push it back. When you drop it, it gives you more control over the ball, but less speed. Whereas if you were to push it back, it gives you more speed or power. While in your approach, your backswing should line up so that you're ready to release the ball right as you approach the front of the lane. Now, you release. To release a bowling ball correctly, it should first come off your thumb and then roll off your fingers. You should not flick it from the top like many people do. Your hand should stay underneath the ball up until you release. Throwing it straight is straightforward. You bring it back and you throw it forward, releasing like I just showed. However, to hook it, it is more complex but more versatile. To hook, as you release, you twist your wrist, causing the ball to swing, to rotate like this. These are called revolutions or revs. The more revs a ball has, the more hook it will have. There's 2 other factors that play in part with your hook. That is your speed and your loft. Loft is where the ball flies up, skipping across some of the lane. So say, for example, if I was to swing back and release here, the ball would have an upward trajectory, causing it to skip over some, if not most of the lane. This gives the ball less time to be on the lane. There's the same idea with speed. If you're to throw it quicker, there's less time for the ball to be on the lane. The opposite effect if you were to throw it slow. With less time on the lane, the ball has less time to hook and develop it. There's the adverse effect if you're to throw it slow or have little to loft. It may take some time for you to find your own bowling style. You may want to learn how to throw it 2-handed, or you may throw it 1-handed like me. You may throw it fast while your friends throw it slow. Your dad may have a 2-step approach, but you have an 8-step approach. Each bowling style is uniquely that person's. So, hopefully with this information I've given you, you can go bowl that 300.